from your local news leader. This is NBC 10 News at 6.
Right now, an update on a deadly discovery near Conway. The identity of the victim found on New Year's Day. And ringing the new year with a barrage of bullets. Details on shots fired case being worked on by Bastrop police. Plus, a string of car burglaries have South Arkansas investigators issuing a warning to residents where it happened and what you can do to prevent becoming the next victim. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natasha Williams. Gordon is back next week, topping our news at 6. The rain continues to fall and water levels continue to rise. Here's a look at early today from the Ouachita River. It, along with several others across the Arkansas, are running very high. Several days of rainfall causing saturated soil as a result of excessive runoff. Area streets are also experiencing localized flooding, even spilling water over area ditches from all the rain. Meteorologist Brian Briggs joining us to talk about rain totals and what to expect in the coming days. Brian, we've seen quite a bit of rain. When will it stop?
Yeah, that's right, Natasha. So far, most of us have seen close to an inch of rain as this heavy rainfall continues to push through the Arkansas. And as you can see by our graphic here, some locations already seeing over an inch. So again, Natchez already almost at 2 inches. So just depending on where you're at, you've been seeing that heavy rainfall. And here, at least in Monroe, we're closing in on 7/10 of an inch. So again, just kind of one of those things where we're going to continue to see this rainfall piling up over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. So at least at this time, we're not dealing with any sort of active flash flood warnings at this time, but there is a flash flood watch across most of the Arkansas. Again, virtually unchanged from where we've seen it so far. So don't anticipate that being expanded. But here's just a quick look at our live storm tracker Doppler radar. Again, no active flash flood warnings, but we'll continue to track this heavy rain as it pushes through the Arkansas.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Ouachita Parish deputies have identified a person found dead yesterday. Otarius Frith remains were discovered Tuesday afternoon in a ditch near Jackson Street. That's near Ochsner LSU Monroe. That's commonly called Conway in our area. An investigation on how he died is still underway, and an autopsy is pending. We'll continue to follow this story and give you more information as we get it. Up in El Dorado, a woman has died after she was hit by a vehicle on New Year's Day. According to Arkansas State Police, it happened around 8:40 yesterday morning in Hampton, Arkansas. Police say the driver of an SUV was heading north and left the road, striking that pedestrian. State Police identified that pedestrian as 40-year-old Melissa Womack. The driver of the vehicle has not been identified. No word if that driver will be charged in the incident. Investigators in Bastrop posted this. There we go. Investigators in Bastrop posted this Facebook video this afternoon. They say they got several complaints on New Year's Eve of people firing guns in celebration of New Year's Day. Now, police want to remind us that it is dangerous and also against the law. If you know anyone in the video you see right here or know anyone else who was firing into the air on New Year's Eve, call the Bastrop Police Department. That number is 318-281-1322. So far, there are no reports of injuries, but some people did put on Bastrop's Facebook page, the police department page, that bullets damaged their homes. Some of them received damage from the bullets. Over in Texas, a pastor and musician are lucky to be alive after a bullet nearly struck them during a New Year's Eve service. Now, this all happened shortly before midnight on Monday at the Ramp Church in Fort Worth. Pastor Evan Risher was in the middle of his watch night service when a stray bullet fell through the roof. Now, officials say that .40 caliber bullet came from a celebratory gunfire, likely. Nearly 300 people were at that watch service at the time. Thankfully, no one was injured. Pastor Risher continued his service into the new year, using that bullet as his testimony.
And it hit right here, about 2 feet behind where I was, and about 2 feet in front of my drummer.
Pastor Risher says this is the second time that church has held a service in the evening in that building. He's also considering moving watch night service an hour earlier to prevent problems that can happen around midnight. Back here on the crime beat, a man allegedly runs down the road high, jumps on a woman's car, and forces her to give him a ride. Jeffrey Glasscock is behind bars for simple kidnapping, simple criminal damage to property, disturbing the peace, and resisting an officer. According to an arrest report, Glasscock appeared to be under the influence of some type of drug. He was seen running down the road in his underwear with his dog. Glasscock then jumped onto a woman's car and demanded that she drive him somewhere or he would kill her. Police caught up with him in Jackson Parish. Now, deputies say they tried to tase Glasscock to make him comply, but his dog became more aggressive and had to be euthanized. Glasscock is being held in the Jackson Parish jail for now. He'll be sent back to Lincoln Parish to face additional charges. Sometimes all a thief needs to break into your car is an open door. NBC 10's Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with the Union County Sheriff's Department, and she has this warning. They're telling residents to make sure they're not making themselves easy targets for theft.
A simple action that only takes a matter of seconds. A 17-year-old is in custody tonight for allegedly taking advantage of some folks who got a little too comfortable. Police say he's responsible for a string of break-ins that happened in Norfolk during the week of Christmas.
These crimes in particular, it was crimes of opportunity.
An opportunity they say the suspect used to grab anything in sight.
It was evident the suspect went inside the vehicles, rummaged through the center consoles and the glove compartments, and just took whatever he could put his hands on.
Officers say there are two ways to prevent car theft. One, not leaving your door unlocked, and not leaving things like cash or electronics in your car.
I know people have a sense of security at their own home. I do. And even doing what I do, it's easy for me to get lax and taking the care to put valuable things away, take them out of the car.
Captain Stinson says there were witnesses of the break-ins and video surveillance from the victims' homes that made the arrest easy, but that's not always the case.
Because, people are out when you're in bed.
The Union County Sheriff's Department is still investigating the case to make sure others weren't involved. Reporting in El Dorado, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Now, the Sheriff's Department is not releasing the juvenile's name because of his age. He could face up to 6 years in prison for breaking and entering charges and 6 years for theft of property. Louisiana lawmakers part of the heated debate on the Hill. We'll share Congressman Steve Scalise's comments about why the government is being shut down and what they need to do to open it back up. Empty homes in central Arkansas going up in flames. What's the cause of concern and a potential cure? That story after the break.
And rainfall totals over the last couple hours, or last 24 hours, starting to trickle in here. And so far, they're pretty impressive. We'll see more rain on the way, and we'll time out all the details, all when NBC 10 News at 6 continues.
Severe weather really knows no calendar, and while we typically think of hailstones and tornadoes as our severe weather threats, those continue well through the winter months with sleet and snowfall. And the new live storm tracker Doppler radar keeps you ahead of any storm.
Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd and live storm tracker Doppler radar on NBC 10, keeping your family safe. News, weather, and sports. Follow us on the KTVE NBC 10 KARD Fox 14 Facebook page.
Early money can be the difference between missing your family reunion or being the surprise guest. At Jackson Hewitt, we help lots of people like you. You could get up to $3,500 with a no-fee refund advance. So why wait? Visit Jackson Hewitt today.
Join us for Ag Expo at the Ike Hamilton Expo Center Friday and Saturday, January 18th and 19th. Seahorse exhibits and demos, Ag Alley's mini farm, seminars, trade show, and more. Ag Expo is fun for the whole family. Brought to you by these sponsors.
Take your taste to France. Take your taste to a different place. Taste, that's what we do for you. The taste of Italy through and through. Taste, there's no way to fake it. So fresh and satisfying, that's the way we make it. Take your taste to France. Take your taste to a different place.
At Highcombe Eye Center, restoring your vision is our passion. Pioneering new technology and setting new standards in cataract care. Exclusively at Highgumble Eye Center, we offer the combination of the precision of the Aura as well as the planned accuracy of the Varion Alcon Duet.
Cataract surgery with the Aura and Varion system is the next step in personalized surgery in ophthalmology. It truly improves the patient's vision and improves their lives.
Call to schedule your cataract evaluation.
NBC 10 News at 10 continues.
President Trump is reportedly rejecting potential compromises to reopen the government. Democratic congressman leaders met with Trump Wednesday with no breakthrough on the budget deal. Their sticking point, Trump wants more than $5 billion to fund the border wall project. Now, President Trump says that he's prepared to give the government shutdown and keep it shut down indefinitely to get more money. Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise was among several lawmakers to speak to the media after their meeting with the president.
And Secretary Nielsen wanted to go over some very alarming numbers. There were more than 3,700 known or suspected terrorists that were stopped from entering this country. Bill we passed in the House was over $5.5 billion. They haven't put a counteroffer on the table. You saw the vice president negotiating, and there was absolutely no negotiation from the other side. So they want to keep delaying and have a government shutdown.
President Trump says the U.S. spends more money in Afghanistan in 1 month than the entire border wall would cost. New congressional members will be sworn in tomorrow, and Democrats in the House are expected to vote on their own proposal to reopen the government under its current funding levels. People who live in parts of downtown Little Rock are concerned with the number of fires happening in abandoned buildings, and an issue they say is a huge public safety concern. Caitlin Reardon reports on their concerns.
To me, this is a critical public safety issue.
I mean, it's very concerning.
Joe Joyner lives across the street from a vacant house that burned late last week after someone started a fire in the crawl space underneath it to keep warm.
I came out, and that's when we noticed the smoke, and we saw the police arresting someone who I think was the man who started the fire.
According to people who live here, this type of thing is a big problem. One woman says her parents bought a vacant house at an auction, and it caught fire last month.
I came home one night and saw flickering flames and called the fire department, only to discover when they broke the door down, there was a person inside who had started a little campfire in the middle of the living room.
Neighbors say the problem is a lot of these properties sit with no one living in them. When they're not properly secured, people can get into them, and that's when they become a public safety hazard. They feel that the owners need to take more responsibility.
I believe they should be required to have a temporary electrical service and a monitored security that includes a smoke alarm.
Joyner says it's really a sad situation.
It's a house that many people in the neighborhood had been looking at for many, many years as something that they'd like to rehabilitate, and at this point it's pretty unlikely that that's going to be doable.
That was Caitlin Reardon reporting. And rain, a problem here in our area.
Yes, lots of it too. It's starting to add up. We're getting those 24-hour rainfall totals in, and not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Time all the details out coming up next in weather. Watching NBC 10 News at 6.
Tomorrow on NBC 10, it's Thursday, so that means health tips with Dr. Gray.
Plus, Reed will get you ready for what should be another rainy day across the Arklamass. That's Thursday starting at 5 here on NBC 10 today.
We do glass rooms, screen rooms, and also bathrooms. If your wheels are spinning about a home remodel, we've been professionally installing one-day bathroom remodels, safety tubs, glass rooms, screen rooms, and much more since 1976. Race over to our showroom today at 402 Cypress Street in West Monroe, or give us a call at 324-1232. Tub Back Rubs and Bath Planet, a name you can trust.
What's better than having fast, reliable Wi-Fi with coverage throughout your home? How about having internet that can help you save on wireless phone service? Xfinity gives you the fastest speeds from America's best internet provider to stream on all your devices. Plus, with Xfinity Mobile included, you can switch your wireless carrier and save hundreds of dollars a year. Now that's simple, easy, awesome.
Get started for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Plus, ask how you can get Xfinity Mobile included so all you pay for is data. Switch today.
I was pulling up to the red light on South Grand Street.
and the car just ran right into the back of me. I've seen Morris Bart's billboards and commercials my whole life, so I decided to make that one call.
Bill fractured his elbow in a rear-end car accident. He called and we went to work right away. We got Bill $130,000.
I tell everyone I know, if you're injured in a car wreck, Google Morris Bart and call a man. You'd be glad you did.
Injured in a car wreck in the Monroe area? Just call and talk to a lawyer right now for free. One call, that's all.
We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. Love and living local, NBC10. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Love and living local. Yes, the Arklist is where I want to be.
Now, your local weather with meteorologist Brian Briggs.
Well, happy Wednesday. Hopefully you've been staying warm and dry out there. You can see on our sky cam, lots of low cloud cover and those raindrops. They're starting to come back as we just have periods of rain across the area. In addition to that, it's also pretty chilly with temperatures in the middle 40s. Reduced visibility slightly, but those winds are breezy too out of the north-northeast, around 9 miles an hour. So that just kind of is an extra slap in the face to a really, really cold, wet January day across the Arklist. And when we mean wet, we mean wet. Here's the rainfall over the last 24 hours. Already seeing some impressive rainfall totals across portions of the Arklist. Look at Natchez, almost at 2 inches so far. We're close to a 7/10 of an inch here, and Natchitoches just over 1.25 inches. So again, that's just over the last 24 hours, and we're going to start to see these rain totals keep going up as long as this heavy rain is sitting over us. This is why the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood watch for the main body of Louisiana and the Arklist, except Claiborne Parish and southern Arkansas. Again, this goes until Friday morning at 6 a.m. So localized areas of flooding, and just with those saturated soils and high rivers, just keep an eye out as we continue to see that rain piling up across the Arklist. So here's our live storm tracker Doppler radar showing where that rain is currently. A little bit heavier rain in northeastern portions of the Arklist. Starting to see some more breaks, though, especially out towards the west, and that'll be the general trend as we get deeper into the evening, into the overnight hours. This rain shield that's over us will start to break up, and we'll start to see some patchy areas of drying conditions, however, not getting rid of the showers completely. And don't think that we are done. Here is more redeveloping off towards the southwest, or southwest. So as the system that's off into Texas pushes further eastward, it'll just continue to pump up that Gulf moisture and essentially just leave us under a fire hose, and at least over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. So here's what Future Tracker's thinking. Again, keeping that heavy rain around until about midnight or so, and then agreeing with me on the at least tapering of the rain into a few showers overnight, and that'll continue until we get to about sunrise and afternoon tomorrow. Then those showers, again, pretty much like what we saw today, turning back into a steady heavy rainfall by the time we get to the afternoon and evening. So again, that's where we're going to rack up some more of that heavy rain. And then watch this. This is really cool. The center of the low actually goes right over the Arklist. You can see those showers wrapping around it, and we'll continue to see those into our Friday morning and maybe even into Friday evening as Future Tracker keeps pushing the system later and later and later out of our area. So originally Friday was looking to be dry, and but now we're having to reintroduce rain chances, at least for the first half and maybe even now into the second half. So here's kind of what our latest updated rainfall forecast shows. 2 to 4 inches in the orange. That's on top of what we've already seen today, and then about 1 to 2 inches for those in the yellow. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to be getting a lot of rainfall. And again, we really just don't need it. Our grounds and our rivers are already saturated and swollen. So for tonight, temperatures dropping down in the lower 40s, rain tapering off to a few showers late. Again, not getting too cold, staying fairly consistent, but it will be slightly warmer tomorrow with temperatures in the lower 50s, showers early turning into a steady rainfall late, and that rainfall will move out by the time we get to Friday. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Again, drier times are on the way for Saturday into Sunday. Look at that. We have a lot of sunshine, temperatures in the lower 60s, and brief rain chance for the upcoming Monday, but that's the only rain chance after today that we're looking at. Temperatures staying in the 60s, and just a few passing clouds here and there.
It is really coming down out there.
So, yep. Yeah, unfortunately.
Thanks a lot, Brian. When we come back, we'll have an update on Dallas as the Cowboys get set for their wild card showdown with the Seahawks. Woo! Plus, more reaction from LSU's Fiesta Bowl win over UCF. We'll hear from some of the teams next in sport.
KTVE KARD has an opening in our El Dorado office for the position of account executive. The ideal candidate must be outgoing, driven, and goal-oriented. Duties include developing and generating new business leads, maintaining existing accounts, creating marketing presentations, and collecting payments. Media experience and a college degree are preferred. To apply, visit www.nexstar.tv, an equal opportunity employer.
I'm Miss Louisiana. It's past time to shine a light on the hidden numbers of Louisiana's senior citizens in need.
And I'm Billy Justice. Meals on Wheels is dedicated to helping one of America's overlooked precious resources, American senior citizens, full of wisdom, humor, and compassion in our living history books.
As our seniors were there for their communities, we as a community must be there for them. With the population of our seniors rising, the need for our commitment to help them also rises.
This is our community, these are our seniors, and this is our responsibility.
Your local news leader is now delivering all the top stories that matter to you in the first 10 minutes of our 10 p.m. newscast. 10 at 10 on 10. 10 minutes of uninterrupted coverage on your local news and weather. 10 at 10 on 10. Give NBC 10 News at 10 minutes, and we'll give you the ArkLamis.
Advantage Health Plan, we're always on the go. That's why we get our news from the Fox 14 NBC 10 mobile news app. Download the app today to get faster news updates and breaking news alerts. Best of all, it's free. Brought to you by Advantage Health Plan.
Questions about weight loss? Email them to Ask Dr. Gray at NBC10News.net. Then on Thursdays, join Dr. Rel Gray on KTVE 10 News today and get the answers you need to lose weight the healthy way. Ask Dr. Gray, Thursdays on KTVE 10 News today. Staying up on local events and posting your own is easy. Just go to myarklamis.com and click on Community. The Community Calendar on myarklamis.com. Now, your local sports with Spencer Tillis.
A 10-win season capped off with a Fiesta Bowl win. Not a bad ending to the 2018 season for the LSU football team. The Tigers pulling off a 40-32 win over the UCF Knights behind a monster game from junior quarterback Joe Burrows, who connected on 21 of his 34 passes for 394 yards and 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, that shorthanded defense made just enough plays down the stretch to close it out, led by former Neville star Rashard Lawrence, who was selected as the game's defensive MVP. And now, after ending the Knights' 25-game win streak, the Tigers are already looking forward to the start of next season.
When you look at it, that's one of our strengths of our team, is leaning on each other through tough times. We've been through a lot on and off the field, and it's pretty easy when you got brothers that you love playing with week in and week out to just lean on them. And, you know, we don't like to complain too much. It does get tough, but we have each other and keep on pushing.
Yeah, we just came in with the next man up mindset, especially for the defense, because we knew we was going to be missing a lot of key players. You know, I told them it was a great opportunity to make a name for themselves, and I think a lot of people did that. And, you know, we one team, one heartbeat, so we stick together through it all.
I think of the great players we have, the great coaches we have, and the LSU tradition. We had a tradition to uphold. I think at the beginning of the season, all this stuff going out there, we blocked out the noise, but it galvanized our football team. I do believe when we look back at this season, we're going to look at some games, at the Florida game and the Texas A&M game, that we should have won. Out of circumstances, the Florida game, we should have controlled that. Circumstances, we couldn't control the Texas A&M game. And we should have been 11-1 in some cases going into this football game. I think we're going to learn from that going next year.
And just like that, this year's college football season is down to one final game. Top-ranked and undefeated defending national champs Alabama taking on second-ranked Clemson for the third time in 4 years in the title game. The Tide are currently a 6-point favorite in the matchup. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock on Monday night. And while the college football season is quickly winding down, the praised in social media, but the fact is, he is the... And despite leading his team to the postseason for the second time in 3 years, there are still plenty of doubters surrounding Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. But as Tobin McDuff explains, this Saturday's game will go a long way in changing that.
First 3 NFL seasons. And
he's taking his team to the postseason after an impressive 387-yard, 4-touchdown performance in the final week of the regular season.
Outside the locker room and inside the locker room have been two completely different messages all year long. So people outside the locker room think one way and we think a different way. So, I mean, as I said, the ups and the downs and just how we stayed through it and just stayed positive, but excited for the next part of our season.
But I do believe momentum is earned in life and in football. And you earn it by continuing and doing the things the right way. And, you know, certainly a very good performance by Dak in our passing game the other day against the Giants. But you have to go earn it again. You have to earn it on the practice field, and you have to earn it throughout the next ball game.
So bring on the Seattle Seahawks, coached by Pete Carroll. The coaching veteran has 122 NFL wins and 10 in the playoffs. On Saturday, Garrett and his quarterback seek their first playoff victory. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Tobin McDuff.
Thank you, Tobin. That is going to be it for sports. We'll have another look at your forecast after this.
Advantage Health Plan, we're always on the go. That's why we get our news from the Fox 14 NBC 10 mobile news app. Download the app today to get faster news updates and breaking news alerts. Best of all, it's free. Brought to you by Advantage Health Plan.
I'm James Spivey. If you have financial troubles, come see me. I've been practicing bankruptcy law since 1993. My office is at 1515 North 7th Street, West Monroe, Louisiana, just across the street from the West Monroe High School football stadium. You can call me at 387-3666 or on the web at jspiveylaw.com. Bankruptcy is not the end, it's a new beginning. We're a debt relief agency. We help people file for bankruptcy under the Bankruptcy Code.
Join us for the 98th Annual Monroe Chamber of Commerce Meeting and Banquet Wednesday, January 9th at the Monroe Civic Center Conference Hall. Registration deadline is January 4th. Contact the Monroe Chamber of Commerce for more details.
Early money can be the difference between missing your family reunion or being the surprise guest. At Jackson Hewitt, we help lots of people like you. You could get up to $3,500 with a no-fee refund advance. So why wait? Visit Jackson Hewitt today.
Oh, great party.
Oh, thanks for coming, guys.
You better get that car warmed up.
I'm on it.
I don't miss those days.
Yeah, we just had a remote start install.
Oh, us too. Nice.
It's gonna be nice and toasty.
Why don't we have one of those?
We're fine.
Okay, I can't feel my fingers.
I bet everyone else can.
You don't need a new car to have new car technology. Suncoast Sound, Briard Street, Monroe.
It's go time. Your team, their stories on Go Nation. Thursday on NBC 10 News Today. Sponsored by Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Find your freedom with the all-new NBC 10 mobile sports app, featuring faster highlights and scores to keep you in the game. And it's free. The NBC 10 mobile sports app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Ross Downs, attorney at law. What are the odds of winning the lottery? 1 in almost 14 million. That's why it pays to enter the NBC 10 Great Gas Card Giveaway, with over $38,000 given away so far. Enter now at Hickson Ford. Then watch NBC 10 News at 10 to see if you win.
Well, fortunately, but as we get towards the weekend, look at that. Sunshine returns. Temperatures staying in the 60s for the extended period, with the only minor rain chance for Monday of next week.
Working towards the weekend. We're going to make it.
Yes, my goodness. Well, that's NBC 10 News at 6. Have a nice evening. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.